Hey, hi guys. In this session, we will understand input method in Python, how we can take input from user. So these three topics we are going to cover in this session: input method with a message, typecasting the user input. First, we will understand input method. We use input method in order to take a input from user. This input method is used to take input from user. User input is always converted to a string in Python. No matter what kind of input user has provided, it always converted into string only. This is a syntax of input method. We took input method and stored in one variable. Now let's understand the concept of input method with the help of example. Let me open the PyCharm. Now what I'll do, I'll create one variable and use the input method here. Simply, I'm not going to provide any message here. Simply, I have used this input method. So in order to take a input from user, we can directly use input method. Here, now I'll print this name. Let me run this program. It will ask you to enter name. We can provide any name. Let me type Python. C. I have entered Python. It has printed Python only. If I rerun it, see now this time I'll provide some integer value and some special character. Whatever the input we are providing, it will considered or it will be converted into a string only. And if I hit the enter button, we can see the same output which we have provided, right? But sometimes we need to specify what kind of input we want from user. If you don't pass any message within this input method, user will not understand what kind of input we are looking from them, right? So mostly it is important to provide a message. Now we will move to the second slide. Second one is input method with a message. And this is a syntax. Input method we have used and we have given some message, enter a number. Let's see this. Now I'll remove this as we can comment. Now this time I'll take one variable n1 is equal to, again I'll use input method and here I'll pass some message, enter a number for n1. Now I'll declare one another variable n2 is equal to, again I'll use input method and pass the same message. And I will use here n is equal to n1 plus n2. Let's print this n. Now if I run, it will ask you to enter a number for n1. So now user will understand what input we are asking from them. So now it is clear, user has to enter some number, right? Now again, it is asking to enter some number for n2. User has added n1 and n2 number. Now here we have added and store in n variable and I have printed, right? Now instead of adding these two number, we are receiving 45 and 90. It means It is taking the input and converting into string. So as I said, no matter what kind of input user has entered, it always print in string only. It will always convert it into string only. So whatever the input user will provide, it will always print or converted into string only, right? If you want to add these two number, then you will have to typecast. Let me go to third slide. Third slide is typecasting the user input. Typecasting is needed to convert a string to an integer. Specifically, we will have to use int method in order to do the typecasting. So we can provide input method as an argument to this int method. This int method would be able to convert user input into integer so that we can perform some operation using numbers. Now let me show you how we can typecast. There are two ways to typecast. One, we can use int method here. Within the int method, we have passed this input method as an parameter. Same we will have to do it for this n2. Int, I will store this input method as an parameter. Now if I rerun this program, again let me add some number here, 200. Again n2 I will add here 100. Now see, this time it has added these two numbers. So this is the one of the way to typecast. Another one is, if you don't want to use int here, then we can remove and we can use int here. Int. Again, if you directly using int and within the int, if you are adding these two number, again it will give you as a string output. Let me rerun. Again I will provide here input 200 and 100. See, output it has given as string, right? But if you want to add these two numbers, then you will have to use separately int method. Now this time if you rerun and provide the same numbers, then this time it will add. So there are two way to typecast. One, you can directly pass int here, you can typecast. Within the int method, you can pass this method as a parameter. Same for n2, and then you can directly add n1 plus n2. And if you don't want to use int method here, then you will have to typecast here wherever you are performing an operation, right? So this is how we can take user input in Python. In Java and C++, we were using scanner class. Using scanner class, we were used to take a input from user. But in Python, we can directly use input method. But input method always converted into a string. Whatever the input user will provide, whatever the input user will provide, it will always converted into a string. But if you want to perform some operation using some numbers, then you will have to typecast as I showed you. So it is pretty simple. I hope you understood. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment. Thanks for watching this video.